prophecy of Euphrates 2. The story of Elisha and Elijah and the Euphrates drying up and then chariots being seen is all a prophetic foreshadow of the end times. Beginning of the stories, 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 6 through 10 says, And Elijah said unto him, Tarry, I pray thee, here, for the Lord hath sent me to Jordan. And he said, As the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And they too went on. And 50 men of the sons of prophets went and stood to view afar off, and they too stood by Jordan. And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither, so that they too went over on dry ground. And it came to pass, when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, Ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. In verse 11 and 12 it says, And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces. So here we see two prophets who were prophesying, who smote the river that dried up, and people crossed, and chariots were seen with horsemen of the armies of the Lord. And this is a prophetic foreshadow of the end times. And this is how it's revealed and fulfilled in the end. Two prophets are prophesying. Revelation chapter 11, verse 3. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. And we know they're two prophets because it's written in Revelation chapter 11, verse 10, that it's directly explaining that these are two prophets. Revelation chapter 11, verse 10. And they that dwell on the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. Here we see two prophets prophesying with the power to smite the waters with plagues. Smiting the waters, just like Elijah and Elisha did when the waters were dried up. Revelation chapter 11, verse 6. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. So we see here two prophets prophesying the plague on the river Euphrates, that the river Euphrates will dry up, that people can pass over on dry ground. Revelation chapter 16, And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. The river drying up made way for chariots to appear to be able to come across the river. Revelation chapter 9, verse 13 through 16. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, Loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. These horsemen and chariots are used as a punishment upon the beast. They are a portion of the armies of the Lord that will be used as vessels of destruction in the end times on Christ's return. And these are the net of the company coming to snare the beast and his armies to slay part of the third of the earth. Ezekiel chapter 32, verse 3 through 8. Thus saith the Lord God, I will therefore spread out my net over thee with a company of many people, and they shall bring thee up in my net. Then will I leave thee upon the land, I will cast thee forth upon the open field, and will cause all the fowls of heaven to remain upon thee, and I will fill the beast of the whole earth with thee. And I will lay thy flesh upon the mountains, and fill the valleys with thy height. I will also water with my blood the land wherein thou swimmest, even to the mountains, and the rivers shall be full of thee. And when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven, and make the stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light. All the bright lights of heaven will I make dark over thee, and set darkness upon thy land, saith the Lord God. And this is how the likeness of the fulfillment in the end times is. two prophets prophesying the plague over the river Euphrates, that it dries up, that the way of the chariots can come across, which are armies of the Lord, to be seen in the end times. The great band and number of 200 million man army of the sixth trumpet and the sixth bowl, which is a portion of the judgment against the beast in the earth, that a third part of the men will be slain side by side with the armies of Christ. And this is how it's fulfilled from the story that was foreshadowing this in the days of Elijah and Elisha. And this is the prophecy of the Euphrates too.